Good evening, students. I am again with you with the same topic, the treasure within, from your English supplementary. And in the previous video, we saw that Hafiz contractor had nightmares about mathematics. He did not like mathematics. One day, when his principal called him and told him that so far he was under his eye and care, but now onwards he will have to look after himself. He was deeply influenced when he was told that he must understand how his mother brought him up and how his mother paid the fees. We have already discussed that for 1 year, see, when he was told all these things by his principal, he was in 11th class, and for the next whole year, that means during the grade 12th, he did not step out onto the field for the complete 1 year. He was busy studying. He only concentrated on his studies and he did nothing else. He also told that he disliked studies so much that sometimes he created a distraction so that the study would not be continued. And one day the distraction created by him was they played whole day chore police. Then he also told that how things after his principal told him changed slowly. Acha, before we start today's video, just tell me, if you happen to be with Hafiz contractor, would you also join in the distraction he used to cause? Would you also play chore police with him? Okay, that is a question for you to answer. I can't answer for you. Now, let us see what happened further. BR. How did you get into the field of architecture? Hafiz contractor. In the college for architecture, nobody who had got below 80 to 85% was allowed to enter. I had only 50%. I wanted to join the army. I got my admission letter, but my aunt tore it up. Then I decided that I wanted to join the police force. My mother said, don't join the police force. Just do your graduation. So I went to Jai Hind College in Bombay. There I was to either take French or German. Though I had studied French for 7 years, I did not know 7 words of French. In 7 years, he did not know even 7 words. So I took German. Then my German teacher died. The college told me that I could change the college or take French. Now, who would give me admission in another college? I had got admission to Jai Hind by influence. So I thought, okay, I'll take French. And I started learning French again. I learnt it from my cousin. She was an architect's wife. I was going to an architect's office to learn French. BR, was it then you decided you wanted to do architecture? Hafiz contractor. Actually, it all happened quite by chance. In the architect's office, I saw somebody drawing a window detail. A window detail is a very advanced drawing. I told him that his drawing was wrong, that the window he had drawn would not open. He then had a bet with me, and later he found that indeed his drawing was wrong. My cousin's husband was surprised. He asked me to draw specific things, which I immediately did. He asked me to design a house. I designed a house. After that, he told me to drop everything and join architecture. He went to meet the principal of the college. The principal warned me, I will allow you to take part in the entrance exams, but if you do not do well, I will not allow you to join. I got an A plus in the entrance exam, and from that day it was a cakewalk. It was a cakewalk. I had never made a plan, but I knew how something looked like from the top. I had never known what a section was, but I knew if you cut a plan, what it would look like. I stood first class first throughout after that. I believe that all this understanding came from what I used to play and do during school. I had a friend called Behram Divecha. He used to have competitions between us for designing forts, guns, ammunition. Each of us would design something in an effort to be different. In school, when I was in the second or third grade, one of my teachers, Mrs. Gupta, saw my sketches and told me, see, you are useless in everything else, but your sketches are good. When you grow up, you become an architect. I did not know at that time, but she was right. Later, after I became an architect, I went back to meet her and tell her, BR, why do you think you did not like studies? Was it because you felt you could not cope, could not deal with the curriculum? Hafiz contractor. I was very bad at languages, science and geography. I could deal with maths, was very bad. I just was not interested. I was studying for the sake of studying. What they taught me today, I would forget after 2 days. I would not bother because there was no application of mind there to begin with. Did you think that what they taught in school was boring, or did you feel that once you understood the concept of what was being taught, you lost interest in the rest of the lesson? Hafiz contractor. Living in a boarding school is difficult. We were just living from day to day. Nowadays, there are so many tests. Back then, whenever we had tests, we used to just copy. The teacher thought that we had done our work. There is a consensus that giftedness and learning disabilities go hand in hand. Do you think this applies to you? Hafiz contractor. Well, take some students from my class. Those who always stood first or second are today doing very ordinary jobs. I have come across this situation in so many different places where people tell me that their class toppers are doing very ordinary today. HC. In school, I think living our lives there made us street smart. I have learnt more by doing what I did on my own than what academics would have taught me. That is because the personality and skills were there. You were able to find expression in a manner you were comfortable with, and you defied every rule so that nobody would stop you from doing what you needed to do. Hafiz contractor. I was more interested in other things. If, for example, while in class it started raining outside, I would think of the flowing water, how to build a dam to block it. I would be thinking about the flow of water within the dam and how much of water the dam would be able to hold. That was my interest for the day. When the students lost a button while playing or fighting, they would come running to me and I would cut a button from them for them from chalk using a blade. Discipline in the school was very important and no student could afford to have a button missing. The student would get past dinner with a full neat uniform, and after that it did not matter. Coming to the present, how do you decide as to what kind of structure you want to give a client? I look at the client's face, his clothes, the way he talks and pronounces, the way he eats, and I would know what his taste would be like. I can relate to people in a way that would be comfortable. I sketch very spontaneously on a paper on the spot. That paper I give to my people in the office. You do it instinctively. Call it instinct, call it arithmetic, whatever. Now it comes to me like mathematics, putting design, construction, psychology, and sociology together, making a sketch from all that is mathematics. Here we almost come to a full circle where Mr. Contractor has derived his own interpretation of mathematics, taking it from a subject he hated to a subject he now loves dealing with. So, Mr. Hafiz Contractor his interview starts with the heat, with the dislike he has for mathematics, and slowly and steadily he mentions that all those drawings he makes are, see, he draws all the drawings instinctively. He just looks at the client, He focuses on the pronunciation and he focuses on the face of the client, and then instinctively he draws the design. He is such a wise person, and then he says, whether you call it instinct or arithmetic, but he combines everything. He puts together the design, construction, the psychology, and the sociology together, and then he calls it. Now it's up to you whether you call it mathematics or you call it instinct. So it has come to a full circle, starting with the hate for mathematics, and now he has defined mathematics in his own ways. But after all, while drawing the designs, he is doing mathematics, but doing mathematics in a different way. So one thing that we conclude from this interview is that teachers should understand that every child is unique, every child is gifted with one quality or the other. Therefore, we should analyze their pluses and help them achieve their goals. We should not force the students to learn on our lines. On the contrary, we should become their helpers, help them the way they want to learn things. This was a beautiful interview. I hope you liked it. Read it once again, watch the video once again, then do all the exercises. Thanks for joining.